The old Kirk Cousins saga, the gift that keeps on giving, it never ends, and it doesn't look like an end is anywhere close to sight because, as we saw recently, Joe Flacco has inked a deal with the Cleveland Browns. They were the one destination that a lot of NFL insiders kind of linked to Kirk Cousins because of Stefanski and because of their need and because of the lack of options. But with Flacco, they have 3 quarterbacks on the roster, and it doesn't seem like there's any chance that Kirk Cousins is headed to Cleveland via trade unless an injury happens. And frankly, when you look at the list of destinations, they're almost non-existent. Now, of course, injuries could happen. We just saw what happened with Derek Carr. He might miss the entire season. I don't see Cousins going to the Saints. I don't see Cousins going to the Saints, but that's just a situation of how things can quickly change, and one of these opportunities can open up and an opportunity for the Falcons to move him. But it looks bleak, to say the least, right now, in regards to the Falcons actually finding a trade partner for Kirk Cousins.
Well, the Browns only owe Flacco a few $1 million. The contract is up to, I think, like $15 million, but,
it's all incentive.
75% of that is incentive based. And it's probably strictly starts. It's not like throw for 40 touchdowns. It's probably just how many games MVP. You start. Right. You get all your money if you win MVP. So there could be an avenue where a deal does come to fruition. Albert Breer said he wouldn't write it off, but obviously the chances are very, very, very slim. But what Albert Breer did say was kind of about how unwilling the Falcons were to eat Kirk Cousins' contract. And if you kind of play a little mathematics, Kirk Cousins owed $36.5 million. That's what the Falcons are on the hook for. $10 million of it is still next year, but $26.5 this year. And you subtract it to, I think, Joe Flacco's 13-ish million. And the Falcons were very clearly not, what Breer said, not willing to eat about that $13-ish million to get that $26.5 million base salary down to where the Browns kind of paid Joe Flacco, because as Breer said, that the Browns viewed Cousins and Flacco as the same, which is a total shot at the Falcons. You sign that guy $180 million. He's the same as 40-year-old Joe Flacco who's, eating potato chips off on the couch. But I think the only real possibility, and Breer talked about it in his article on Sports Illustrated, go check it out, is the Steelers. And if, Aaron Rodgers, whatever happens, I don't even know where else he could even play. Minnesota, maybe?
Giants.
There's really nowhere else for him to play that is as good of a situation as Pittsburgh, in my opinion. I mean, maybe Minnesota. But so that's the only other landing spot for the Falcons and Kirk Cousins is Pittsburgh. So all of that to say, I think old man Kirk's going to be the backup in Atlanta.
Yeah. I heard Ian Rappaport talk, mention, it wasn't it wasn't a report. It was just kind of like reading the tea leaves of where a potentially spot could open up. And he mentioned Tennessee. Cam Ward goes there. You're probably going to start him though. Yeah. I would assume, but maybe do you really, if you're Kirk Cousins, do you want to go where the number 1 overall pick went after what just happened?
An important aspect in all this is how bad does Kirk want to play? He's obviously not going to waive his no trade clause before the draft. So the people have been dubbing it getting Penixed. Where you go somewhere and then they draft your successor immediately after. So he's not going to accept any trade until after at least the first round of the NFL draft. And even then he's going to have to weigh what does he really value? You want to collect your money, live with your family in Atlanta. He just moved his family to Atlanta where he thought he was going to retire. Everyone's here now, including his wife's parents. There's a lot of aspects to think about. Or do you want to keep playing, Kirk? I mean, rework your deal. We'll release you. Give us our money back. I mean, obviously that's not going to happen. We know who Kirk Cousins is. He'll put his money above all else. That's the only reason I thought that he would get traded is he preferred, to make the most of his twilight years over taking his money. It's clearly not true.
Well, yeah, I mean, money though, Nashville, no state income tax, man.
How would that work? If the Falcons are paying him?
I think you get it wherever you're playing. So because you actually it's legitimately where you play. If your 8 home games are in Tennessee, you get no state income for those paychecks.
East must hate each other.
Yes.
Oh, well, the Dolphins.
You get no paychecks.
The Dolphins players have to go to Mass.
But
New York?
Yeah, but on the road, you have to pay, New York state taxes.
Know that.
Yeah, I learned that from Mac Jones. One of the few bits of information he's given me that's been solid, Mac. Thanks, buddy.
That's crazy.
We got more to talk about coming up after the break.